So many people are coming to the continent of Africa to do business, whether it's Senegal, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, and they're rushing and they're making tons of mistakes. Listen, I made tons of mistakes. But in this video, I want to share with you how to start a business in Africa, how you can do this, because it's hard. Now, this is not a get rich quick thing, okay? But I'm going to share with you how you can get started by doing business on the continent, the areas that I've chosen to do business and why. And I'll give you a key specifically to keep my overhead really, really low and my startup costs close to zero. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I share my experience of living, moving, and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I currently live in South Africa. I'm in Johannesburg. It's kind of gray outside, you know, and we're here. We're getting prepared to head to Zanzibar tomorrow for our annual investor summit and mastermind. And I'm doing business, y'all. I'm doing business, and it's a lot. I'm also looking like a glazed donut. Yes, I got some new products. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. Subscribe. If you're new, if this type of content you resonate with and you find value in it, I would love to have you a part of the community. But yes, let's jump in. Let's jump in. So people are making mistakes. I run into diasporans all the time. I feel like Africans that come to South Africa from other parts of the continent do really well. But I feel like I'm running into so many diasporans that are attempting to do business and they're struggling. And it's not because they're doing anything wrong necessarily. I think it's for a few reasons. So the first thing, how to do business in Africa, do your research. Okay, you've got to do market research. Understand what the market is looking for. It doesn't matter the country, right? But what is the market looking for? What does it need? The truth is about 50% of your ideas are likely completely possible, right? If you're doing it in the US, you can do it in Africa. That's true for about 50%, probably even more. But you want to do your research. You need to understand the market opportunity for the service that you provide. You know, for example, you don't want to come and start selling luxury vehicles in, let's say, a country that doesn't have complete road infrastructure, right? Like, I know that there are some countries that do it, but for example, luxury real estate car dealerships do really well in South Africa, but they don't necessarily do as well in Tanzania. So it's understanding the market and the opportunities that exist in that market for your business idea. The number two thing to doing business in Africa, do what you do well. Don't come trying to do something that you've never done before. Take it from me, I tried. So back in 2020, I moved to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania with my family, and I was technically on a sabbatical. But as someone with an entrepreneurial spirit, kind of serial entrepreneur, I was always looking at opportunities and went to Marangu, a village at the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro, had some incredible coffee, learned the story and the history of coffee. And I was like, you know what? I want to start a coffee business. My first mistake. It came based on only understanding that there was a market, but I knew nothing about coffee. I knew nothing about harvesting. I knew nothing about the co-ops. I learned nothing about the competitive nature of the commodity that coffee was and the capital intensity that it would take for me to start a coffee brand. I spent a lot of money, a lot of hours, a lot of time, and I failed. And I failed because I was trying to go into a market that I knew nothing about because I wanted to do something different. I wanted to challenge myself. Challenging enough is moving to another continent, another country, learning different languages, cultures, and customs. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success by doing the thing that you already know how to do. If you are, you know, an incredible in leadership, or if you're in the medical field, or if you're in the beauty field, or if you're in the design industry, do that over here. If you've created technology, consumer goods, Do that here. Bring your skill set that you do really, really well to the continent and you will thrive. Trust me. Don't spend thousands of dollars, years of time investing in something that, you know, is completely out of your scope. Build your business first and then go into different ventures, right? Because I do think that I'm currently embarking on different things that I haven't done, but it's because I've been here for a long enough time. I've deeply researched the market. I've developed partners that are experts where I am not sufficient or efficient. And yeah, I'm getting insight from other people, right? But yes, so that's the second thing. You want to do what you do best. The next thing is to be successful and to launch a business in Africa, you need to build local partnerships. This is so important. In many cases, it's mandatory depending on what country you go to. Specifically in Tanzania, you have to have a business partner that's Tanzanian in most cases, in most industries. Now, there are some industries that you can get around this, but for the very you know, high income earning industries, you need to be partnering with a Tanzanian. And that's really important. I'd say even in South Africa where I'm doing business, I'm always going to partner with somebody that is local to the economy in which I am looking to grow. And that is so important. So also be mindful of how you are networking, right, with local partners. I'd say overall, Tanzania, let's bring it to South Africa, right? South Africans are so friendly, right? You're going to meet South Africans everywhere. At the grocery, they will come up to you. At the restaurants, they will come up to you. At the gym, they will come up to you. And 9 times out of 10, they are going to serve you with opportunities and introductions that are efficient. My experience in Tanzania has been a little different. That took more time, right? That took time and relationship building where, you know, I met some people in the Uber or the Bolts or the Dalali that was like, yo, I know the president and I can get you, you know. So oftentimes people want to be really helpful, but knowing how to network with like-minded individuals and, you know, partners, knowing how to do that and to do it and taking your time with doing that. You can also, while you're in your current home country, engage with the current embassy or consulate or chamber of commerce that does business in your hometown or your home country, your community. And you can network with them there so that they will be able to make introductions on your behalf in your new potential country on the continent that you're looking to reside in. I'll also say this is something that I haven't really leaned into, but connecting with your government, like your local government. For me, working with the American embassy or the chambers of commerce that are doing business here, it's a huge thing. You know, I've got a history with the Chamber of Commerce. I used to work at one in Atlanta, and now I understand their role and their capacities. And some of me just likes the bootstrap feel. But as my business grows, as I grow in thought leadership and influence in my new home countries, it's now I've developed a level of authority that makes my introductions into these spaces a lot more seamless and integrated, right? So that's the bonus thing. The bonus thing into developing a business in Africa: document your journey. Share your journey from beginning to end, because we're all just figuring it out. We're all figuring it out. And every time we learn a lesson or we have a failure, we can share that with the community of people that are also interested in building businesses on the continent. You know, it's been a journey. As I mentioned, I'm preparing to go to Zanzibar for my 2nd annual investor summit. It's actually my 3rd, because the first one was virtual. The second one, I didn't make no money. I kind of lost money. I think this one will exactly break even. But this has been a process and a labor of love and resilience, and the ancestors leading and protecting me along the way. There is so much opportunity to do business, but we want to do it the right way. We want to take our time. We want to be intentional and also give ourselves the space and the grace to mess up. You know, I get to share my experience with now subscribed nearly 70,000 people. I think more than half of that, I think double that, you know, only about a third of you guys that watch this content are subscribed. If you find value in this content, please subscribe to the channel, because it does help. It allows me to be encouraged to share more with the community. It allows me to grow and be able to impact and support more people through partnerships and getting, you know, the right stakeholders on board. But it is not easy. It is not easy, but when you make a decision, you eliminate any other option, right? So I've made the decision to build a community here on the continent, and I've done that, and it's actually become international. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for supporting me along this journey. I've got some really exciting things that I'm planning and building to do for the majority of the community. Right now, we're catering to a specific group, successful entrepreneurs and investors who want to do business, move, and travel to the continent. And so a lot of you guys are joining us, right? We've got a sold out summit again here in Zanzibar upcoming. But if you want to join us virtually, we would love to have you. The conference is taking place Eastern African time from about 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you can join us virtually. The link is in the description. You're going to learn all about the opportunities for investment and doing business in both East Africa and Southern Africa. You'll learn my strategy, and you'll learn kind of what I'm learning as well. You'll be with me as I'm learning and sharing that knowledge, you know, with other people in real time, because now I'm building multiple businesses. And it's because I've taken the time, I've done my research, I've made mistakes, I've strategically aligned myself with the right partners and the right allies, and I'm sharing the journey. I'm documenting it, which is holding me accountable, which is bringing stakeholders and strategic partners my way, which is giving me more opportunity to learn, you know, and mess up and share as well. But we would love to have you. Click the link in the description to join us virtually at the annual Africa Investors Academy Investor Summit and Mastermind. We would love to have you virtually, but we would also love to have you in person next year. So if you found value in this content, be sure to like this video, share it with someone else, and subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, guys, I'll see you soon.